Hello everyone, and welcome. I've got the canoe loaded up for a day trip. That spot that Ann and I found that we camped at last time, the fire ban has now been lifted. So I've decided that I'm going to go out there with the canoe today and prep a fire pit and cut up some firewood. Because the next time we get a chance, we want to go camp there, and if I have firewood ahead of time, it's that much less work for me to do then. So let me get the life jacket on, we'll hop in the canoe, and we'll paddle on out there. Just as I carried my stuff up the hill, a boat pulled up with 3 guys fishing in it. I don't want to start cutting firewood and have them see me cut it up and where I leave it. So I guess now I have to have more patience than the fishermen. But I got this beautiful view behind me, and I brought a sandwich. So I'm going to eat my lunch, and hopefully they don't stick around too long. On a good note, if they do catch something, I'll see what they're catching and where. Looks like there's the old remnants of a fire pit here. So I gathered a few rocks, and I'm just going to make a half circle here just to close this off as a fire pit. And then when we camp out here, if there's lots of wind and it's keeping the bugs away, we can sit on top of the rock and have the fire down here protected from the wind, or we could set up our chairs down here. Either way, this should work out to be a pretty good spot. I'm right down by the water. It's fairly flat here where we could set up our chairs, sit by the water at night. And if we decided to have a small fire down here, this rock is sitting here, and I've got a perfect little wall here. So I could have just a small fire in this little nook. We could sit by the fire and enjoy the breeze off the water. This could turn out to be a beautiful spot. Well, the fishermen seem to have gone. So I got the fire pit up here set up, and the one down there I just showed you if I want to do a fire down there, but I don't know if I will. Now I'm going to sit, have a bit of a drink. Take a short break. Then I'm going to grab the saw and start cutting up a little bit of firewood. While I'm sitting here, I bought a new mic. It's another shotgun mic because the lavalier mics that I was using The battery dies on them with absolutely no warning. I was having problems with them. I've lost a few of them because the clip lets go. And I can't seem to find a wind muff or a dead cat for them. So whenever there's any wind, it's really bad. So I'm trying this mic out today. If you can, let me know what you think in the comments. If this mic is better or if you prefer the other mics. I'll have to see. If this one doesn't work, I'll have to look for another different one. But break time's almost over. Gonna have to start looking for some firewood. Now this right here, quite long, dead and standing. Luckily, I brought the Silky Katanaboy because I didn't know what kind of trees I'd be getting into. I brought this one, and I brought the Agawa Boreal 24. Kind of glad I brought this, because it'll go through this quite easily, whereas the Boreal 24, it'll do it, but it'll be a lot more work. Okay, let me move you before I knock this thing down. A big part of bushcrafting is using whatever you have at your disposal to help you with the tasks at hand. Now, when I parked my car, I got out of it, and beside the car, somebody left a few logs that were already cut. Now, the stores around here have all stopped using plastic disposable bags. You now have to buy cloth reusable bags to bring with you. I saw the size of these logs, I rooted around in my car, and I happened to have a big Walmart bag. So I was able to bring 2 of these without a problem. But that means I now have this bag at my disposal. And I just cut up a bunch of firewood. Nice to get in the shade a little bit. So in total, I managed to get 3 of these big stumps that were beside the car. I brought all the wood that I cut from over there. I think I'm going to hide in the shade a little bit, slowly split this down. And now that I've seen that there's boaters roaming around here, I think I'm going to stash the wood a little bit further back in the woods. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, I think I'm going to keep one of these big ones for as long as I can as a splitting log. But now that I've cut up all those small ones that I brought, let's give one of these big guys a try. So once again, Walmart bag saves the day. I found this spot. It's behind some trees. You can't see it from the water. And I found these two pieces of log here. I put them up against this tree. And I'm going to carry all the wood I have from over there in my handy dandy Walmart bag. It's surprising how much wood you can put in one of these bags. Can you guys keep a secret? I found a stash of blueberries. I'm gonna leave them here. And when Ann and I come out camping, I'm gonna bring a little bit of pancake batter. I'm gonna make her some blueberry pancakes for lunch. Shh, don't tell her. This lichen grows all over this rock. And I found a piece that's been dried. So I'm going to take some charred cloth and I dig just a little bit of a hole here with my finger. I will put one piece in the center. Take one piece, tear it to expose some fine fibers, set it on the rock. Problem with that being so dry is it falls apart quite easy. But it works very well. So now that the fire's lit and burning good, I'm going to take my Dollarama bucket, go get a pail of water. So now the fire is burning nicely, and just to the right and in that tree is my Dollarama bucket full of water. So if anything happens, I'm ready to go. Now we need about 500 mils of water, which would be down to about here, because the 1400 mil mark is here and I've got it full right to the top, which is about 1500. So yeah, it's about 500 mil. Maybe a little bit more, but I'll pour a little out. So there's the water for dinner, and there's the water for the cook. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to move this close to the edge as I can. Build up the fire all at this end. And with the fire up close to the pot like that, it should bring it to a boil fairly fast. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I went and got myself a stick, grabbed a branch off a tree, and I'm just going to clean it up a little bit, because I'm boiling the water so I can reheat one of the ReadyWise prepackaged meals. Just add water and reconstitute it. But once I add the water, it takes about 15 minutes. So I figure when it's just about ready, I brought along some sausages, and I'm going to use this to roast the sausages over the fire. I gathered a little bit more firewood. So while I'm waiting for the water to boil, and then while I'm waiting for the food to reconstitute, I'm going to go and split up that last little bit of wood and put it with the rest of the firewood. For now, I'm going to lean my cooking stick into the cooking tree. Maybe place the wood around the fire a little more just to try and get that water to boil. And then go and start splitting some of that wood. Water's boiling. And here's the Ready Wise noodles and beef. Take out the little packet. Now, I like to open it up and shake the powder out of the tiny little corners as much as I can. Now here's the tricky part. Make sure it's very well sealed. And I gently roll it around, being very careful. With the boiling water in there, it tends to build up quite a bit of pressure, and I try and maneuver it around to empty out the corners. But because of the heat and the pressure, if you squeeze too hard, you'll actually pop the Ziploc open and it'll spray everywhere. I know, I've burnt myself once or twice doing that. But it's the best way that I've found, because if you try and go in there with a spoon or a stick, I find you don't get everything out of the corners. Like that. See, I just popped it open. Seal it shut again. And now I'm going to let it sit for a while. And let it do its thing. So I think this is going to be enough firewood to last us probably about 2 nights. So that's a good start. But when we come out, I'll bring the saw and the axe with me. And then if we need more firewood, I could always cut more while we're here. Doesn't have to be perfectly clean. But if I push some of this under the brush, it won't stand out as much from the water. And it won't look so messy. If it doesn't look like I've cut a bunch of firewood, then they won't look to see where I put that firewood. So this is pretty much ready. I've opened up the bag. Just to check it out. And it looks good. But it was just a little bit watery. So I left the bag open for a few minutes. In the hopes that the steam coming out will help to thicken it up a little bit. And now I have naturally smokies with cheddar cheese in them. So now I can skewer one of these. Just leave it there close to the fire. Now, because my spork is short, normally what I do is cut the bag down to size. I don't know if you can see that, but nice chunks of beef and noodles. Delicious. And these being smokies, they're pre-cooked, so once they start to split, they're ready to eat. Yep, the cheese is nice and melted in the middle. That was a fantastic day. We got lots of wood cut for when Ann and I come out camping. Dinner was good, albeit it was simple, but I knew I was going to be working all day. I didn't want anything complicated. So that was quick and easy and tasted good. But I want to thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure having you along. And if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.